Hey everyone, COE33 here with another game room tour for you. Today I'm going to share the NES collection with you, which I'm looking forward to. I grew up with the NES, so I have a lot of fond memories of playing it as a kid, and definitely one of my favorite systems to collect for and to play. Both Leaf and I enjoy it very much. So I'm looking forward to sharing these games with you. So why don't we head over to the wall video games and take a look at the collection. Up top here we have a NES sign or a Nintendo sign. That's basically just like a DVD case with a printed out insert. And we have signs on top of the Nintendo shelf here, and then on top of the Sega shelf and the PlayStation shelf. Just kind of a cool little DIY project, a nice little touch, and I think it looks cool. We have a classic Nintendo controller there, and this little Nintendo cartridge toy that came in a loot crate a long time ago. So starting with the games, I'm just going to point out some highlights. Now I do have these in alphabetical order, and you can see these little tabs here. And what I did there is I basically printed out the letters on 4x6 glossy photo paper, and then I cut them out and I used them as tabs to keep everything in alphabetical order. And it works really well. The only negative is we have a cat, Kirby, and Kirby likes to come along here, especially at the bottom, and she destroys the tabs. She pulls them out, she plays with them, and I often have to print out more tabs, and we're actually missing a few down here because I have to reprint them. But other than that, it works really well. So starting at the top, I'm going to point out some of my favorites and some of Leaf's favorites. And we'll meet up with Leaf in a little bit. She's downstairs playing Final Fantasy right now on the NES, and we have a few games down there as well, along with our custom NES console. So we'll share that in a second. But starting with the games, we have Adventure Island there. It's one of my all-time favorites. Love playing a little Master Higgins, going around and hopping on a skateboard and jumping over snails. Good times. Airwolf. Love that show growing up. Arch Rivals. That was a fun arcade game. I remember playing that back in the day. Bad Dudes. And what do we got here? Oh, there's Castlevania 2 and 3. Definitely some of my favorites. I do love some Castlevania games. And here's a really good gem on the system, Cobra Triangle. It's relatively inexpensive too, so if you guys collect for the NES and you haven't played Cobra Triangle, I definitely recommend that. It's a lot of fun. Moving down to the next row, let's see, we've got Contra, one of the great games on the system, one of my all-time favorites. I didn't have that growing up, but my friend down the street did, and I used to go over there and we would spend hours trying to beat that game, and it wasn't until we used the code that we were able to finally beat it. And what else? We got Duck Hunt, classic. If you got a CRT television, an NES Zapper, you gotta play yourself some Duck Hunt, great game. DuckTales, not only was that a cool cartoon back in the day, but it's an awesome game, one of my favorites on the system. Excite Bike, of course, classic. And what else? At the end there, Jackal, that's a really fun co-op game. Oh, and Gyrus, that's a cool game, a little shmup. We have some of our boxed games right here, Friday the 13th, Castlevania, and Kari Warriors, Lee Trevino's Fighting Golf, and Marble Madness, another game I used to play in the arcade. Moving down here, Jaws, Rad Racers, or no, excuse me, Kid Icarus, Kirby's Adventure, of course, I gotta have some Kirby. Kung Fu, I had that one as a kid, that was one of the few games I had. So growing up, I had an NES, it was the first system I ever had, and I've told the story on the channel before, but I really wanted one. I was at that right age, and those commercials just had me completely enamored when they came out in the 80s, and I just knew I had to have one. And my dad said, well, if you want one, you gotta save up and you gotta buy it. So I saved up change for a year and a giant jug, and finally about a year went by and I had enough, and I went to the store and I was able to buy an NES, but I was a little bit short. My dad chipped in and he actually got me a couple extra games as well, so I ended up having the console, which came with Mario Brothers and Duck Hunt. And then I also picked up Kung Fu and Top Gun. And those were the only games I had for a very long time, but I enjoyed them quite a bit. And Kung Fu is hard, but it's a great game. Legend of Zelda Gold Cart, gotta have that in the collection. Mega Man 3, I would love to pick up the other Mega Man games. That's the only one we have in the collection at the moment. Metal Gear, Metroid, of course. Metroid's an awesome game, one of my favorites. And let's see, that's about all that's calling out to me on that row. Moving down, we've got Mike Tyson's Punch-Out. Leaf and I found that while we were on the hunt at a Value Village, and that was a pretty awesome score. We got a really good deal on that. It was part of a bundle. RC Pro-Am, Rambo, love the Rambo movies. I don't know about the game though. I don't think I've played that yet. Road Blasters, that was fun in the arcade. RoboCop 2. And let's see, Sky Shark, Solstice, Spy Hunter, another great arcade game. And Strider over there, which is a game I used to play on the Sega Genesis. And that was a lot of fun on the Genesis. Definitely one of my favorite games back in the day. And let's see here, moving down, the Tecmo Bowl and Tecmo Super Bowl. Those are really fun football games. Ninja Turtles. Tetris, of course. Tetris never gets old. It's still a lot of fun to play. And then we've got Bayou Billy and Goonies and X-Men and The Simpsons Bart vs. the World and Tiger Heli and all kinds of great games here. There's Top Gun and Top Gun 2. And what else? Total Recall and TNC Surf Designs and Track and Field. And moving down to the bottom row here, we've got Willow, another great movie. And WrestleMania, Xenophobe, and Yonoid. And then we got a Tengen Kart, Pac-Man. And then over here are some of our signed games. So Pat the NES Punk signed that Barbie cart for us, which was kind of funny but very cool. And then Gamester81 signed the Game On Expo Retro Championships 2015 cart. So those are all the NES games that we have in the upstairs game room. I think we have about 150 or so games. I'd have to check the app I use to keep track of our collection to know for sure, but that's probably about right. Now, quite a few of these were actually donated to the channel, which is amazing. A very generous viewer sent us, I think it was about 60 games or so, and we actually opened that package in a We Got Mail episode, and that was a great episode of We Got Mail, and really cool receiving all those games and being able to give them a good home and play them and enjoy them. So that was pretty awesome. So why don't we head downstairs, meet up with Leaf, see what she's up to, and then we'll share the last few games that we have in the collection. Alright, it's Leaf. Hey Leaf.
Hello, everybody in YouTube land.
And an Oscar. Looks like you're playing a little Final Fantasy, huh?
Yeah.
Sweet. Classic.
And my characters are named Bond.
Bond? Like James Bond?
Yeah.
Cool.
Magic.
Uh-huh.
Ruby. And then there's another Magic.
2 magics, huh?
Yeah.
Why not? And that's the cart that Marcus gave us at the Portland Retro Gaming Expo, huh? Retro game players. Cool.
Yeah.
Sweet, good choice. So we have a few more games down here. And we have our custom painted NES, and Leaf and I picked this up at a garage sale, and it was all beat up, so we painted it, we stenciled a gold Mario on top, which you can't really see there, and we replaced the 72-pin connector, and we have our Super Mario Brothers games here, including Super Mario Brothers Duck Hunt, Super Mario Brothers 2, Super Mario Brothers 3, Dr. Mario, another Super Mario Brothers Duck Hunt, and then we have some amiibos down here. And Leaf and I actually were working on this the other day. We did a custom kind of little backdrop there. We printed out this kind of Mario backdrop, which is kind of a nice little touch, we thought, for our little display here. So that's it for our NES collection. Definitely one of our favorites to collect for, huh?
Yeah.
And 2 thumbs up. Yeah, that's right. So we hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks so much for watching, and until next time, bye.